All right, we are live now. Hello and welcome everyone. This is Rashmi from Designhill, your host for the day, and I hope you guys are doing great and staying safe. Thank you so much for joining us. Let us know where are you joining us from in the chat. I hope you guys are doing great and staying safe. Thank you once again for joining us. Today we have Lucas with us, and we are going to talk about why and how to build an online presence as a graphic designer. The event is brought to you by Designhill, which is the world's leading creative marketplace that caters to the creative needs of businesses and individuals alike who can source high quality designs and buy unique products from its independent artists from the platform, which is called Print Shop by Designhill. Moving ahead, let me introduce our speaker for the day. Lucas is a graphic designer having more than 11 years of experience in the industry. One of his biggest passion is to teach and to share his knowledge with the creative out there. He has worked mainly with packaging, branding, web design, and now he is focused on working with B2C customers by providing and building a strong online presence. Thank you so much, Lucas, for joining us for this webinar. It's a pleasure having you, and please go ahead and say hi to the audience as well.
Thank you so much for having me here. It's a pleasure to be talking to this amazing community. And I normally do lives, but this is a complete new thing for me. So thank you for all the people that's watching this right now. And I hope you enjoy it. I'm Lucas, as she said, I have 11 years as experience as a graphic designer, and now I'm focused more on social media. And just a few months ago, almost a year ago, I finally got in how to actually work with social media, and this presentation is all about this.
Yes, and I'm sure it is going to be a very helpful and insightful session for all the designers out there because of the COVID and everything. One needs to have online presence, and I'm sure it is going to be insightful in that front. All right, let's move forward. Here's a quick update for everyone. You have a chance to win a $50 print shop gift card from us just by doing a simple thing. You need to take a screenshot of this session, upload it on your Instagram story, tag Lucas and tag Designer DH, and a lucky winner will have a chance to win a $50 print shop gift card. The Instagram handle of Lucas and Designhill is on the chat, so do check that out. Also, as a gesture of appreciation that you guys could join us for the session, we will be sharing some offers as well with you at the end of the session. So stay tuned for that as well at the end. All right. So before we start, let's quickly look at what Designhill is all about, and then we'll be right back. We'll jump back to the session.
Okay.
Looking to bring your branding out of the 80s? Head to the world's #1 creative marketplace, Designhill.
When I wanted to grow my parents' restaurant business, I knew we needed a better logo than the one my Uncle Sonny drew back in the 1980s. That's why I went to Designhill and got an incredible logo and brand identity that met all my needs within my small budget. The process was easy. I just went to Designhill's marketplace to choose from one of their incredible professional designers. Find one you like based on their style. Oh, this one looks interesting. Check the ratings and reviews to see how other people like their work. Oh, seems like he's worked at restaurants before. Then add some information about your business. Do you have a slogan? Where's the logo gonna appear? What colors do you need? Then your designer will get to work delivering you an incredible logo. You can even find an expert to design any kind of graphic design, from packaging to menus to t-shirts to business cards. I got everything. And now with the help of Designhill, I have everything I need to take my business to the next level and leave the 80s where they belong. It's real. Mom and Dad are so proud. Maybe we can open up a second location, or a third, or a fourth, or let's just go global.
Let the world know it's real and build your brand with Designhill.
All right, that was about Designhill, and now we are all set to start the session. So if you have any question, do not forget to put your question or share your question in the question section, and we will take your questions at the end of the session. And yes, do not forget to take the screenshot and tag Lucas and Designer DH on Instagram. Lucas, we are all set now. Let's get started.
So just to start, let's just discuss a little bit about how design works for the standard designer that just goes out of school right now. Because I have 3 years of college in graphic design here in Portugal, where I'm based. And after that, after finishing college, I realized that, okay, I know all the techniques. I know how to deal with graphic design. I know all the software that's a part of graphic design too. But after all, I just knew how to send my portfolio for companies and how to get hired to work for a company, not to work as a freelancer, or how to build my own business. And it's very important. I mean, it's one of the most important things nowadays is to have an online presence. And it's just because of that that Bill Gates, some years ago, he said there will be two types of business in the next 5 years: those who have a presence on the internet and those who are out of business. And I completely agree with this claim. And if you are not on the internet right now, mainly with this COVID situation, you are not going to be present anywhere, because it's the only place that you can actually be consistent right now with your presence. So let me start with the presentation that I have here. So this presentation is going to be all about how and why to build your online presence as a designer. And if you are not a designer, this is very important for you too, because this applies to all the starting and mid-size, medium-sizes companies. Although if you are a big company, you already know about this. But mainly I'm going to focus more on the graphic design area. Why to have an online presence is a very good question, and it basically replies to itself. Just these reasons that I have here by themselves are good reasons to have an online presence. In my case, I'm Brazilian, but I live in Portugal, and I see that there are many differences between the two countries, and most of them are that Brazil is a huge country. It has 200 million people there, and Portugal only have 10 million people. And also the political things, the political situation in two countries are very different. And in Portugal is much more difficult to build your own business than it is in Brazil, because in Brazil everyone are more, they dedicate themselves more for business, so it's easier to build your business in Brazil. People are more willing to invest and so on. So your location, it's a very good reason for you to have an online presence, because you may be in a place where you are very limited. Because let's suppose that I'm talking to my own experience. I'm from Portugal, and in Portugal, most people don't have their own businesses. When you go to a shopping mall, for example, whenever you go there, you're only going to see huge franchises like Zara and like Apple stores and international stores, and very few are actual Portuguese local businesses. So you don't see local businesses too much here, and when you see them, they are very, very small. So the country only focus on the national huge companies that they have here, like the supermarkets, the fuel providers, and stuff like this. So if you are a graphic designer that just got out of school and you don't want to work for someone else inside of a company, you are in trouble, because you don't have many people that are willing to invest in their own businesses, not because they don't want to have a good design for their businesses, but it's because they don't have the money to do so, because it's very difficult to increase the size of your business in a place like Portugal, for example. So this is one of the main reasons that Portuguese people are practically, it's impossible to be very big here in Portugal if you are not working for someone that's already a very big company, or if you don't build an online presence. So the best way is to build an online presence. Also, there's a reason where business people don't respect design. And remember when I told you that Portugal is a very small country and Brazil is a very big country? So because of that, you can build a presence without being online in Brazil, because it's much easier to do business there. Well, it's not that straightforward, because in business in Brazil, most people are always looking for the cheapest and are always looking for the most affordable ways to be to get the work done, and many times they don't care about the quality. So what happens is that everybody that just watches 2 or 3 videos on YouTube and how to use Photoshop and Illustrator. They say that they are graphic designers, and being a graphic designer is much more than just learning how to use Photoshop and Illustrator. And because of that, people don't understand what design is in Brazil, for example. So there you have a huge community with lots of entrepreneurs that are willing to invest, but they are willing to invest in low budget designers in most of the cases. So the local business in Brazil, I have lots of clients from Brazil because I'm Brazilian, and because they don't like to invest too much in design, because they're always going to say, oh, but I know someone that charges half of that. And they are never going to accept that you are an experienced designer, that you invested yourself years of your life studying how to do design properly. And because of that, you are going to lose lots of health, mental health, dealing with very difficult clients in Brazil. So there's a good reason for you to have an online presence, a good online presence in Brazil, in Portugal, or pretty much in any other country. If you are in a big country, there are good reasons for you to have an online presence too. And basically, you are not limited for the things that's going on your country. So you don't have to rely on your regional economy fluctuation. This means that whenever your country goes through a crisis, if you have an online presence, you probably don't have an online presence only in your country. So you are in the world. Everyone has access. Everyone have access to your page on Instagram. Everyone have access to your website, to your social media, independently if it is on YouTube or Instagram, Facebook, whatever you want to build your online presence. If you have this, you are not limited to your local, for your country, for your city. And if they are going through a very difficult financial situation that happened in Portugal, for example, a few years ago, like 10 years ago, you wouldn't feel the situation. And what's more clear to explain this than the corona situation that we are going through right now? If you think and if you analyze all the business and the impact that the coronavirus had on the businesses today, you are going to notice that the businesses that felt the less affected by the corona situation are the companies that are most linked to the internet. As you can see, Jeff Bezos just overlaps everyone in the list that was below him in the richest person in the world, just because of the situation that coronavirus just punched him like directly to the first place, because his company is 100% online business, or 99, because they now have the supermarket thing that's going on in some countries where they have local stores, but it's very rare. It is 99% guided toward a online presence. And as they earn all the money from the internet, everyone started to use internet to buy things on the corona situation, because we still wanting to buy things, we still wanting to make our lives go, although we are stuck at our homes. So if you are in the internet, you are in the world, you are not very as much affected as the other people. And if you have an online presence during the coronavirus, you not only wasn't that affected negatively by the coronavirus, but you also get a boost of business in this situation. And this is very common because you are not going to feel any of the crisis that's going locally anywhere, because you have access to people all around the world. And I started my business, it was not because of the coronavirus that I started my online presence. It was a coincidence that the coronavirus happened exactly when I was starting. I started like studying social media 2 or 3 months before the coronavirus started showing up almost everywhere. So I started to research about social media around November, December, and we started the lockdowns around February, more or less. So because of that, I felt that I had a boost on my Instagram. It was very easy to increase the followers, increase the business that I get from the online presence. So also if you don't have an online presence, you have limited local clients. For example, I'm in a very small town in a very small country. If I wanted to go door by door, knocking on doors and trying to get clients for a graphic design, as you may know, the most common practice of graphic design is B2B, is business to business, and it's very hard to deal with this when you are in a country that is small like Portugal, and even harder if you are in a small town inside of a small country. That's my case. My city has around 25,000 25,000 people in the city, and there are probably like less than 100 stores here. And most of these stores, as I told you before, are international stores, international companies that I wouldn't have the possibility of just knocking in the door and saying, okay, Mr. Owner of FNAC, can you can you just give me a job as a graphic designer? The guy that's responsible for this probably are not even in Portugal, so I have there's no way for me to go there and try to get these clients. And if I rely on the clients that is in my city, they're going to think that $50 for a logo is an extremely expensive thing. And if you are a graphic designer and if you invested your life, you don't want to charge $50 for a logo, because you know the experience, you dedicated your life, you dedicated years of your life to learn how to do a good logo, a logo that is memorable, a logo that communicates what must be communicated, although a logo main function is to identify, not to communicate. But you know what to do with the logo, and you studied hard to get this. You want to be well, you want to receive the money for it, the right money for it. So it's very important to know the why you are doing this. You are just taking away all the limitations that you have in when it comes to the physical presence. And also, one of the most important things that you have to take this into account is that you have no limit when you are on the internet. The only limit is the whole humankind, basically. So when you are in a you are doing like cold calls, cold emails, or visiting stores, you are always going to have to invest lots of time just to get people to know you. If you call to someone, you're going to call to this person, and probably the person who you are talking to in the phone is not even the person who's responsible for the design or the marketing area inside of the company. And in most of the cases, they don't even know how to link you to the responsible for that part. So you are going to invest lots of time calling to people, sending emails, visiting stores, and the reach that you are going to have is very, very low. For example, when I tried before, like 2 years before I started my page, I started trying to do lots of cold calls, the cold emails, but I only could, if I was visiting stores, I only could visit like 10 stores in a day, 10 to 15 stores in a day, because I had to walk from store to store. And if I had to call, I could call at least at the tops 40 companies in a day if I stay the entire day calling for companies. And emails, the same thing. I have a limited reach every day. But if I do a post on Instagram, if you have an online presence, I can show you some stats here from some posts that I have. I literally have one post that reached in 2 weeks. Let me see here, view the insights. I reached three. I don't know if it's going to focus, but it says that I have a reach of 3. Sorry?
I have maximized. Yeah.
Okay, so let me see if I can focus here. Is it manual? No.
Still blurred, but yeah, you can just tell us the numbers.
Yeah, done. So now I have here
Yeah, it's
381,000 reach. How would it be possible for me to visit 300,000 stores or call 300,000 stores in only 1 week or two? So the reach, the power of social media is incredibly higher than the actual physical action that you can do, because you are making people come to you. So if this is not enough reasons for you to be on the internet, I don't know what it is. And just a final reason why is that I only had like 4 to 5 clients simultaneously before all the social media that I built. And now I have to reject some clients because I can't afford the time to help to do all the jobs that the clients want me to do right now. So now we come to the how. depending on if you are a graphic designer, you probably know that there are hundreds of different topics that you can niche down for your, or niche down, I don't know how this word is pronounced, but there are thousands and thousands, no, but hundreds of different um, places that you can focus on graphic design. There are typography, you can just focus on labeling, box, UI, UX, packaging in general. There are, you can just focus your job to a specific area like cosmetics, or just focus to social media. You can choose what you want to do inside of social media, and you can, whenever it's very important for you to niche down. It's because whenever someone has a business that's related to a topic, this person is always going to search for the specialist. They're going to look for the expert, not the one that knows a very broad field of knowledge. They say that they know lots of things, they do a little of lots of things. No, they want the expert. They want the person who's going to solve the problem. And this is why I don't take more, or I avoid at all costs taking more packaging work. I just take packaging work from old clients that I have, that I don't want to lose the connection, and so on. And websites, the same thing. I just focus on social media, because this is the thing that I'm doing right now. This is the one thing that I think I'm the best right now. I'm better than in social media than I'm good at packaging, for example. I feel that my main field right now is social media, and it's the one thing that I love to do, that I like to do, that I don't feel that, okay, it's Monday, I don't want to work on Mondays, and I don't feel like this way, because every single day, doesn't matter if it's a weekend or not, it's Sunday, if it's Monday, if it's Saturday, every day I just take in my phone and see the social media. I talk to people, I make the posts, I reply to DMs, I connect to new people every single day. And this is something that I like to do. This is something that if I wasn't working with this is something that I would do just to myself, just to enjoy. And the niche is something very important to you, for you to know what's the niche that you are going to focus, because it's the fuel for you to continue. Because if you are working just because of the money, if you have your social media just because of the money, just because you want to have success, this is not a good fuel for you, and you are going probably to give up after 1, 2, or 3 months maybe. And I know, because previously I didn't enjoy so much working with packaging, because I don't like to deal with B2B clients. This is a personal thing that I have. I don't like too much to deal with the B2B clients, mainly when they are from those countries where I said that the people don't respect the designer. It's very hard to deal with those kinds of clients. And I know that probably there are many people in India watching this right now, and I know that you can relate to this. Many people don't respect the design work in India too, just as they don't respect too much in Brazil too. And I can understand that, and it's very hard to deal with that. So this is why you need to focus on your niche. Because I had a page before, and this page had only 200 followers. 200 followers. And why? It's because I wasn't able to keep a consistent posting. I wasn't consistent. I have to post every single day. And to post every single day, I have to produce what I'm going to post every single day. And if you don't enjoy what you are creating, you are never going to be consistent. And the proof is that now that I do something that I can be consistent because I like to do, I have 60,000 followers compared to 200 that I had in more or less the same time, because my page only have almost 9 months, 8 to 9 months right now. And the last page that had 200 followers were around active for around 1 year, and I only could get 200 followers because I wasn't consistent, because I didn't like that. Okay, so another point is brand identity, recognizable and memorable. What does it mean? Is that you have to have everything that you do on the internet, you must know that it's not in every situation where people are going to see your work. They are going to be able to see your face in your work. As you can see now, I just have a small face here, a signature, but most people didn't look to this yet. Probably they are looking to the big images, and I can't just put my face in everywhere. Otherwise I would take all day long just to take the photos, and I would have to learn how to do this trick with the cards, just to make these photos that I want to use. So you have to build your brand identity. A brand identity are, you have to, your brand strategy, that's something that's completely out of design, is the strategy of how you want to communicate, is a marketing thing. You have to choose how you want to communicate, for who you want to communicate to, and these characteristics that are going to be more directly guided towards the sales part and the strategy for your brand. And the work of a graphic designer inside of a brand identity is how I translate the brand strategy into visuals. And you also have to have a very consistent design in your page. Because as you can see, if you look to my page, now let me just increase the size here again so I can see it properly. If you can see, all my posts, they are very, they seem that they were made by the same person. They have the same shades, they have the same uh, filters in the images. And this is something that whenever people see this kind of posts, this shade in the posts, they think of me when they are my followers. And another thing that's something that you should always think of is that you must have a identity, something that identifies you, something that you do all over every single place. And my thing is, I do use my color. So when I'm doing lives like this one, for example, I try to make my face orange. As you can see here, the orange is the main color of my brand. And if I take the gel off the light, you are not seeing the orange anymore. And now orange again. So I try to make everything with the effects on my lives and so on, and also the smooth transitions. Even in this presentation, I try to make a smooth transition because this is something that I do in every work that I do for social media, and it's something that I want to bring everywhere to me because I like to tell stories. One of the things that I like, even when it doesn't come to design, when it comes to games, movies, conversations, I love to tell stories. I'm always telling stories to everybody when I'm in the middle of conversations. So I try to make it like my thing here, where I can try to tell a story along the images that are on the background. So this is my thing, and you should develop those kinds of things for yourself too. So people can look to your post and they don't need to read your name. They don't need to see your face anywhere to know that this post belongs to you. The same thing happens to Coca-Cola, for example. You don't need to see the entire logo. If you just see Google just trying to join the live. So if you just see a small part of the logo of Coca-Cola, you are just going to know that the logo is from Coca-Cola just because of the color and some parts of the shape. So this is a good branding. You just need a small portion of your image to show that you are the one responsible for that. So this is something that you should look for. And the post strategy. Post strategy is something that's very important. That is what you are going to talk about, how you are going to talk about, for how long, and how you are going to distribute all the informations in your posts. You always have to think that social media are guided by a company. They were created by companies. So Instagram, for example, and Facebook, they were created by the company Facebook. And what's the main goal of Facebook? Is making money, because they have thousands of employees that they have to pay every day. They have to be profitable to make the company launch new products to make more money. And this is going like this every single time. So the main goal of a company, as you may know, is to make money. So how do you beat the algorithms of every single platform? Is to make content that gives them money. And how do they make money? You may be asking yourself now. They make money because they show ads to all the viewers, all the users of the platform. So the best way you can do to make the algorithm like you, the algorithm to show your post for more people, for 380,000 people, is to make the people see more ads. So if you make people see more ads, you are making Instagram happy. And if you make Instagram happy, they're going to show your post for more people. And how do you do this? Make posts that people stay longer. It should be something interesting. It should be something that people revisit. It should be something that people send and save, because this is what's going to make people spend more time in your content. And the longer people stay on your content, the more Instagram is going to like you, because you're going to indirectly be giving them money, and they probably are going to give you this money back in some way. So this is the post strategy that I use. I always try to create posts that people visit, revisit, spend lots of time not reading, because you can't like use lots of text there too, because you're going to be boring and people are going to leave you. But for example, I do Photoshop tutorials. When people are doing Photoshop tutorials, they have the phone in the front of the computer opened, following the tutorial. So they spend lots of time with my post opened in front of them, I mean. So this makes people spend lots of time here. And also the post strategy, it comes to not going very outside of your niche, because people follow you for a reason. If you are talking only about design and then suddenly you post something about cooking, all the people that are not interested in cooking and just followed you because of design, and they see like a plate of food in your feed, they won't like that, because they didn't follow you because of that. They don't want to see your selfies in the beach, because they didn't follow you because your selfies in the beach. They followed you because of design. So show them design. Also, one thing that you should always think in the post strategy is that every time that you show something, you should look for a way to make people uh, how can I explain this? Every time that you make a post, everybody that sees this post, they should think that you are talking about the same topic. They should think that let's put this in another way. So basically, Instagram has different posts. They post different. They have different ways to post. They have single posts, they have carousels and stuff like this, and they create new features every day. And they also spend money to create these these new features. And whenever you use the new features, you are using something that they spend money to make you able to use. So whenever they create a new feature, you must use the new features. And was I talking about this? Because of the carousels. The carousels is a very good way to present the content, not only because they created much earlier, I mean much later than the standard single posts, but also they they're a very good thing. They're a very good feature to make people spend more time in the posts. So you should always try to provide the value in forms of, at least as a designer, I see many people that they don't like to teach on Instagram. This is where I wanted to go. They don't want to teach, and there is no problem. You don't need to teach on Instagram to grow on Instagram. Not only on Instagram, but in any platform. But basically in YouTube, the same, the LinkedIn, the same. You don't need to teach. You just need to find a way to be more interesting. So I see lots of creators that are illustrators, for example, not designers, but illustrators. They just show their work in different perspectives. I have an example for a friend of mine. He made a post yesterday that I think that's a very good post. Let me just see here. He showed, I don't know if he wants me to show this, but it's public on his page, so I think there is no problem. So thank you. Here you can see he makes illustrations, and he shows all his process. So here's the sketch for the drawing, the different phases, the shading, and all the phases. He's posting this like this. So if you want to post your packaging work or your logo work, just think of a way to make it more interesting. Don't only show the logo, because whenever you show a logo, mainly when it comes to design, it's a very difficult area to deal with in Instagram, in social media, because people don't like to see ads. People hate to see ads. People pay YouTube Premium to not see ads. They pay Spotify Premium to get rid of the ads. And when you have huge names, let's suppose that this name here was huge. This is a different presentation. You are here already. But if this was a post on Instagram, I wouldn't show my face here, because this is a kind of a logo. This is a commercial thing. And I try to make my name very little in the bottom of the slides, because people don't like to see ads. And when you show only logos, what do you think when you see a logo on your feed? you think that's an ad because it's a corporate brand that's there. You're not only showing everything to inspire people. They are not going to understand that because they are scrolling so fast that they are going to see a logo. They're going to think, okay, another logo, another ad. Let me just scroll through it and ignore it completely. This is why it's very difficult when you are a packaging designer. You're showing products. What's more like an ad than an actual product? So there is no way that people are going just to like you, because unconsciously people are not thinking that they should follow you because they are going to think that everything is an ad. So you have to find a way to show your packaging work, your logo work, your graphic design work in a way that it doesn't look like it is an ad. So this is what I mean when I say post strategy. Try to create something, a strategy that makes people not see you as an ad, and also a post strategy that takes the advantages of everything that Instagram gives you, and also that plays well with the algorithm. Okay, so profile optimization. Profile optimization, it comes when there's a very good thing that I'm going to present you here. But the profile optimization basically is all the ways, all the things that you use in your profile that makes people follow you, because not all followers are going to be your customers, but followers are more likely to turn into customers in the future than people that don't know you and just come across your page randomly. So I'm going to show here, then I go back. So I make the chain, the follow chain. That means no one is going to follow you if they don't see the value in your posts. But no one is going to see the value in your posts if they don't read your content. But no one's going to read your content if they don't scroll through your posts. But no one's going to scroll through your posts if they don't feel impacted by your headlines, because they are in your feed. And if all they are seeing is your headlines here, all they are seeing is your headlines. And if they read your headlines and they don't feel compelled to open your post, they are not going to even open your post. So no one's going to be impacted. No one going to scroll through your post if they don't feel impacted by your headline. And no one's going to be impacted by your headline if they don't like your design. Because if they open your page, they're not going to read. They're not going to automatically read. They open your profile, profile. They open your profile on Instagram, your page, and the first thing that you're going to see is shapes. They are going to see people. They are going to see images, and only if they like what they are seeing in your design, they're going to read your impactful headline. So if you don't have a good design, they are not going to even to get into this phase. But if they don't visit your page, they're not going to like your design, because they are not going to see your design if they don't visit your page, and no one is going to visit your page if they don't see you anywhere. And why is this chain? Is because there's a very logical way that it works, how it works. So basically, there are two ways you can grow on Instagram. You can pay for Instagram ads, because you are going to have lots of reach because you are paying to get reach, or you just can find other ways to make people see your posts. You can use the hashtags. You can go to the explore page if you can. You can comment on other people's posts. You can show yourself out there. And how you show yourself? You must use the stories. You must make lives. You must make connections. You must post every single day because you're showing yourself every day. You should make everything to appear. And one of the most important things that I felt along my growth in my page is the engagement. If you don't engage, whenever you engage with people, when you comment, when you send DMs, but meaningful DMs, whenever you show your face out there in comments and likes in DMs, you are showing your face. You are showing to the world that you exist. If people don't see that you exist, they won't ever buy anything from you because they don't know you exist. So it's impossible for someone to buy something from you if they don't know you are selling that. This was my first mistake. I created an ebook. I tried to sell the ebook, but I didn't tell anyone about the ebook. I just had the link on my bio, and I hoped people clicked there for some reason and buy the ebook. But even if people wanted that ebook and they like me enough to purchase my ebook, I didn't talk about the ebook anywhere. So it's important for you to be everywhere and to show your products, show your face, have a profile optimization, optimize your bio, because whenever people goes to your profile, the first thing that they are going to see are your images, the look, the design of your covers on your posts, and also they are going to read your bio. You should be very clear in your bio and very optimized there, because if people just see graphic designer, they are going to think, okay, graphic designers do lots of things. Are you a packaging graphic designer? Are you a social media graphic designer? What graphic designer are you? So optimize your bio. There are lots of things to talk about this. So I'm just going to jump into the next one, because otherwise I would be like 2 hours talking about just profile optimization here. So show up in stories and build trust. One of the other biggest mistakes that I made on the beginning is that I wasn't recording and showing myself in the stories. I wasn't doing anything interesting in my stories. All the things that I was doing is replying to some questions in stories, showing some other people's posts that I liked, but people don't like to see that in stories. What they like to see are custom things just made for the stories. So show your face out there, show your face in the stories, because the stories is the things that sells the most on Instagram. So after you already engage with lots of people, be consistent, posting everyday posts with the same branding, with a profile that is well optimized. When you already have all these things, you have to be consistent and don't give up. The first thing that I have to say to you is that the first months, the first 3 months of your page is definitely going to be the hardest one. It's very difficult to get your first like 5,000 followers. The first 5,000 are very hard. After the 10,000, if you continue doing the same job, you are going to continue growing. What I see a lot too is content creators that just reach the 10K, 20K followers and then stop. They suddenly stop commenting on other people's posts. They stop showing up. They stop showing up on the stories. They just try to sell, and post. And they suddenly stop growing. And it's completely predictable, these kind of things to happen. When people stop engaging with people, they stop growing. And this is something that you should never stop. Always engage, always get prints of your profile everywhere. If you are stopping, please start paying Instagram to show your face, because you are not going to be shown anymore. So show yourself on Instagram stories, and Instagram stories is the place where you don't have many views, but you have lots of sales, lots of conversions. Is the best place to convert. And I discovered this much later than I liked to. So be consistent and show yourself on stories. And this is it for how you build your online presence.
All right. Lucas, can I close the presentation now?
Yes, sure.
Great. All right. So with that, we have talked about why having an online presence is important. Lucas touched upon, the economic fluctuations and a lot more things about Instagram and the details inside about bio and everything. So I'm sure it is gonna be. It was all the insights, Lucas, that you have shared was fruitful to the audience. I see a lot of questions in the question section, but before I jump into the questions, I have few questions for you. Um,
Okay.
a lot of people. While they were registering for the webinar have asked us that it is, as you just mentioned, that the first 3 months are going to be the hardest one for anyone who would want to start his online presence. So what strategy did you follow when you were starting new, and what mistakes did you make that others can avoid? Because I think the best learning that one can have is to learn from the mistakes that other people have made. So when it comes to you, what mistakes that you have made that you would want others to avoid?
So the first thing is the strategy that I used when I started is I was just scrolling on my stories, and I saw a challenge that a guy called Dane Walker. He made a challenge, the 3 months challenge. And what he said was, you have to be consistent for the first 3 months. You can't fail a single day. So I thought to myself, okay, so I'm going to post every single day. I'm going to engage all the free time that I have, weekends, after my work, every single free time that I have, free minute that I have, I'll be engaging with people. I'll comment in lots of other creators. I'll try to make conversations with other creators. I'll try to make the most out of my platform, and I will invest my time there because, as I said before, you have two ways: invest money or invest time to grow on social media. So I stayed consistent for the first 90 days. And actually, I stayed consistent until now because there are 8 months already, and I never missed a day of posting. Since I started this challenge, I didn't stop a day. So you can't stop. You post every single day, and you dedicate yourself to commenting in other people's posts. You dedicate yourself to reply to DMs, to connect with new people, and don't forget that just commenting like great post or love it, this is not engagement. This is like what bots do. You shouldn't try to make the most just by using random comments and meaningless comments. You should always try to make it a very meaningful, add something to the post. So if people are talking about color, for example, and you have a theory about color, you have your opinion, express your opinion in the comments, because there are two things that's going to happen. Either the creator are going to think, okay, this guy added something to my content and he's going to like it, or he's going to think, yeah, he's right, I'm wrong about that, and let me just pin this comment, for example, or something like this, or correct in a future post, or make a collab so he can explain his point of view. So try to create big communications, big connections with other people. Try to make lives, try to make collaborations with other creators with the same size that you have, or a little bigger, a little smaller. Don't pay too much attention to the followers that other people have, because the amount of followers doesn't mean how good or bad designers they are. It means how good or bad they are with social media. It's a completely different stuff. So you can create extremely good lives, for example, with people that has like 50 followers, if they are good in what they do. But don't forget to check before. So the first thing that I have to tell you is stay consistent. If you forget to post in one day, or if you wasn't able to, let's suppose that you have been posting for 40 days. In the 41st day, you forgot to post, or you didn't have the opportunity to post, your 41st day is going to be your first day again. So you start over because you need to be consistent, and every day post and engage every single day. This is what I meant. And the mistakes that I made is that in the beginning of my page, if you scroll down right to the beginning, we're going to see that I have lots of products posts, that I have other kinds of posts that doesn't convert, that are posts that people don't care about. Not because my work is not good, but because they think that's an ad, or they already see that kind of works everywhere, and they don't need another page just to see more packaging or more logo. I didn't find a good way to present my work. So my biggest mistake was not to study social media before starting actually posting. And this was lots of waste of time.
Okay, I'm sure it was helpful for the audience as well. Also, Lucas, second question for you. As you said that you have been constantly posting for the last 8 to 9 months, and not only posting, you have to be active on stories. You have to be consistent with engagement. You have to do collaboration with other creators as well. And this whole thing can be very overwhelming when we are starting new on social media. So, and at times I'm sure showing up every single day, putting out content every single day for 9 months it could be really overwhelming. So I'm sure you would have a lot of times, you would have a mental block, or you don't know what to post now, what to create my next content on. So how do you deal with that? I mean, when people are just stuck with what to do next, and what to post next.
Whenever you are engaging with other people, you are consuming other people's content, you are seeing other people posts, you see lots of points of view on the most different topics, and you always going to get new ideas from other people's content. You are not copying, but you have new ideas because you are always thinking. As I told you before, the main goal is not to just post great post or a fire emoji or something like this. You should read the post and engage with the post. And when you develop your point of view face to the post of someone else, you are going to develop new ideas. So the basic goal that you have is to make a list of posts where you add more than one idea every single day. Because if you add more than one idea, you are going to have lots of extra ideas to post. And also, you have to find a technique that speeds up your process of post creation. Otherwise, you are just not going to be able to create posts every single day. So what I do is I have one day of the week, normally is Monday, and in the Mondays I create the post for 9 days. So I create 9 posts in only one day, and I don't worry myself with creating other posts for the rest of the week. And why 9 posts if I only have 7 days in a week? Because I create a post bank where I have each week I'm creating 2 extra posts just in case some week, like 1 or 2 months from now, I can't create posts this week. What I'm going to do? I don't have posts for the entire week. No, I already have more than 20 posts or 10 to 20 posts, extra posts that I didn't use before that I have on my post bank. So you have to come up with strategies to speed up your process and also to keep you safe from not posting that day.
All right, that's a great strategy. So I see a lot of questions in the questions tab, and we have limited time. So let me jump back to the question section now. So guys, I will be taking those questions first, which are mostly upvoted. It means a lot more people are asking the same questions. So
Mhm.
so Solang has a question, and 9 other people have upvoted the same. And the question is, how do I get clients if I don't have any? So, can you sort of share a few, although we have talked about it in bits and pieces, but can you share a few tips about, how to go about finding clients through social media?
Yeah, basically on social media, what happens is you have to show your work some way. You have to make, for example, I have a list of posts that I'm making right now. Actually, I think I already have 2 versions of this post posted, but they are about how to create a portfolio if you don't have enough clients yet. So the strategies that I have is make made up projects. That's just uh, fake that you were hired by a company. Make clear that it's a fake project, that you were not actually hired by a company. But let's suppose that I like Nike. I like their shoes, for example. I want just to make their a logo change or a website for them and apply your work for the specific brand that you like and make a made up project. You can also create a brand for yourself and make the branding behind this and the products behind this and apply your area of design into the project that you just made, and you just make made up things just to show that you are able to do your work properly, and show in carousel, showing lives, showing stories, find different ways to show the work that you are doing. You don't need to get hired by someone to do something. If you are not hired, it means that you have time to invest in your made up project. So use this free time that you have right now to create made up projects so you can show your quality, so you can show your skills as a graphic designer. And when you are in social media, you don't have to worry to go after clients, because if you have lots of followers and you are investing every single day in your social media, clients are going to come to you. They're going to want to hire you because they see, okay, this guy has lots of followers, so he's a respected person, because otherwise this huge amount of people wouldn't follow him. So try to build your online presence so clients come to you instead of you going after clients. This is something that's very important. When you have a good online presence, you are definitely going to stop going after clients, and the clients are going to go after you, because it's very annoying when you receive those messages with, oh, I do this and that, do you want to hire me? No one likes to receive that. No one likes, because if they liked your job and they needed something to be done, they would go after you and they would hire you. So just try to make people go to you instead of you going after people.
All right. I see many other questions, but those questions, few of the questions, we have already answered them during the presentation. So I hope you have already gotten the answer. Since we have limited time, we won't be able to take a lot more questions here. So let me see few more if any of them are relevant.
I can read
So
these two.
yeah, Lucas, you can pick any question if you want to.
Okay, so let me just reply this one. Are posts limited to feed posts, or that includes the stories already? I consider the stories to be something extra. So when I tell you to do posts consistently, I'm talking about feed posts or your profile posts. If you do the profile post and you want to do stories too, the stories are extras, because as I told you before, the stories don't have a a massive reach. They have a massive conversion rate. So if you want, what you are looking for to increase your followers, increase your audience, is to have a good number, good reach. So let me search for more questions here. This one I already replied, but I have another tip too. If you are creating, if you take more than one day to create your posts, to how can you post every day and be able to keep up with the rush of creating every single day for Instagram? It means that you don't have a good technique yet. So develop a kind of template that is exclusive to you, or just try to get the tools so you can speed up your process. Because if someone else can do more than one post per day, you also can do it too. And I'm working on something right now. I'm creating some templates. This is on the oven yet, but I'm almost finishing it. And the main goal of these templates that I'm creating is to make you able to create posts in just 30 minutes with smooth transitions just like mine. So just stay tuned so you can see these templates going on.
Okay, this another question has got 13 upvotes, and the question is it important to create a separate account just for my work, or is it okay to combine my personal feed with my work feed?
Okay, definitely is important for you to separate the things, because you are not unless you are already a very well-known person, you are an influencer already, you shouldn't mix things. Because whenever people, as I told you before, when people are following you, they follow you for a reason, and they stop following you when you post something that has nothing to do with the reason they followed you. Why? So if I post only about design, if I start showing my face every day, I'm going to lose my all my followers, because they don't care about my face. They don't follow me because I'm pretty. They follow me because I post about design and they want to learn more about design. Or if you are just posting your work, they want to know more about what you do and how you do it. They don't want to see your face. If you are turning your account from a personal account to a professional account, it may be okay. Uh, it may be not too. I always advise people to create a new account, because the algorithm is not going to like very much if your engagement rate is not very high. So if you don't have this, if you have a personal account and you want to turn into a professional account, don't post your personal things there anymore. But I always think that's a good idea to create a new account to start posting other things, because the algorithm in the beginning, as I told you in the beginning, the algorithm don't like you. They won't like what you do. So they want results, and to get more results, what they are going to look is the rates, is the proportion of followers that you have uh, in comparison to the followers that liked your post. And if you have lots of friends that are into sports, and you are posting about design, your sport friends are not going to like about your Instagram posts um, about design. So this is going to mess up your engagement rate, and it's going to mess up you with the algorithm. So I advise people to create a new page to start a businesses, but it's okay if you just turn this, but it's best to play safe in this one.
Okay, let's take two more questions. So we have this question on the top. It has again got four upvotes. Should we follow best times to post on social media post, or you can be relevant regardless of time?
Okay, uh, you should always follow the best time. You should. Sometimes the hours that the algorithm showing these insights are not the best. You have to try it for yourself. But when you find the best time to post, stick with this time. It's okay if you. It's better to post late than to not post in this day. Always better. In the beginning, I didn't have the strategy of creating every single thing, every single post for the entire week in just one day. So sometimes I run late to the posts, but whenever I didn't post at 3 p.m. at my local time, the post like had almost half of the reach. So it's very important to find the perfect time to post.
Okay, so this one question is very interesting. It is asked by Nicholas, and the question is, how can I post my designs and ideas while avoiding them to be stolen? I think this is the concern of many graphic designers out there, that my ideas or my designs will be stolen. So, what's your suggestion and take on that?
First of all, if you are worried about people copying your work uh, because of legal problems, if you post it first and this person follows you, you probably have a proof that you posted that first. And I don't really think of this too much, because most of the work that I do are for other companies. When I do packaging, for example, if I post the packaging that I did, if people copy, they're going to be sued by the company, by my clients, not by me. I don't have to even to worry about that if you are posting client work. But if you are creating your own things, there are ways to register everything that you do. But unless you feel that this project is going to give you some outcome, monetary outcome, there is no need to register everything that you do, because you are going to invest money in something that's not going to give you any return.
All right. I hope Nicholas, you have got the answer of your question. Okay, let me see the last question. Okay, so this question is asked by Orila, and it's about pricing the work. So the question is, what should we do with those friend price? How to reject it politely, or what should we say? So basically, yeah,
It's related to what? Sorry, can you
it's
put
related.
the
It's related to pricing. So let me just put it on the. Yeah,
okay?
this is the question.
Ah, Jesus, the price. The price question is always the best ones. Okay. What should we do with those friend price? How we reject potentially, or first of all, I think that for prices, you shouldn't reduce your prices unless you reduce your work. So if you are doing, for example, a website, you can say, okay, I'm going to take away like $300 from the site price, but I will have to take this and these features away too. But in some situations, like in logos, for example, what are you going to do? I'm going just to deliver half of the logo, so there's impossible. So just you have to train your sales skills. The sales skills is something that's very important for everyone, not for only for graphic designers. And it's very important to train your sales skills and to know how to deal with those clients that want always the smallest price and want to bid on your price. So you just say no. You have to learn to say no. I won't take away the price that I give to you. This is the price. You just make this comparison. If the guy goes to a store like a Best Buy and they are going to buy an iPhone, or an Apple Store, they are going to the Apple Store and they're going to buy an iPhone, and they say, okay, the iPhone is $1,000, but I only have $500. Do you accept this? What would be the reaction of the guy that's on the front of you? They won't make you the discount just because you asked. You are in the same situation. People won't. I won't give discounts because I make prices based on value. So you have to train your sales skills to make you able to reply to the clients that want to lower your prices in the correct way. And it's very important to practice your sales skills.
Wonderful. That was a great advice, Lucas. And and that was the last question of the session as well. So I see a few more questions, but guys, we have limited time here, and we won't be able to take other question as well. So if you have any more question, feel free to DM Lucas, and I think he would love to answer your questions as well in his Instagram DMs. So please do that. Look, his Instagram link is in the chat. Lucas, you can also share your Instagram link through the call to action button. In the meantime,
Sorry?
you can also share your Instagram link
Okay.
through the call to action button. Yes. All
Okay.
right. In the meantime, so till the time Lucas is sharing his Instagram profile, uh, let me tell you about the next sessions that we are coming up with. The next event is on Instagram marketing, which is wherein you will be learning how to grow your followers on Instagram. Lucas has covered a bit about it, and in that session we will be going in detail about how to go about growing your followers. So if you have not registered for the session yet, please do that by visiting to our events page. Visit to designhill.com/events, and you will find all the upcoming events there, and you can register for our upcoming sessions. If you want to attend events like this, you can be a part of our events newsletter. You will find, or you can also follow us on Instagram and on our LinkedIn page, wherein you will be updated about all the new events that are coming from Design Hill. And you can also suggest us the new events that you want us to host and the new speakers that you want us to host. Apart from that, if you are new to Design Hill, and if you have joined us late, you can always watch the recording of this session, and you can also watch the previous events that we have had through our YouTube channel and through our events page as well. You will find all the links in the chat section. And last but not the least, we are soon to be launching some cool design challenges for the community, which are worth $500. Any designers or non-designers out there can be a part of these challenges, and these design challenges, are primarily coming from our designer a DIY tool that we are soon to be officially launching, which is called Designer Studio. To check more about it, you can visit designer.com/shoot studio/challenges. The link will be in the chat again. And you can notify yourself about these challenges whenever we are making the challenges live, so that you can also be a part of these challenges. So that was all about this webinar. On that note, I would like to say thank you once again to Lucas for joining us and for taking out your time. Lucas, any last thing that you want to say to the audience?
Thank you so much for inviting me, and thank you for all the people that has been here, for all the questions. If you want to have the questions replied, just send me a DM on my Instagram that you are seeing on the screen right now, and just send me a DM and I will reply everything. If you want to learn more things about design, about social media, I have some courses that are on the link in my bio on Instagram too, and I also have a YouTube channel if you want to subscribe to have more knowledge about graphic design and social media uh, and content creation, basically.
Wonderful. So, guys, do check Lucas out on Instagram and on YouTube. Do follow Designhill as well to stay updated about events like these and to join us for our future events like this. On that note, I would like to say goodbye to everyone. Thank you so much once again, Lucas, and the audience for joining us. I hope you guys had a good time and you guys learned a lot from this webinar. On that note, thank you so much once again, and I hope to see you guys in the next webinar. Thank you, Lucas.
Thank you.
Bye bye, guys.
Bye.